There are nights that carve scars into your soul, nights that replay in silence long after the shouting fades. The night I lost what I thought was everything will never leave me. But what my wife never knew, what she still doesn't know, is that while she was spitting venom, I was holding on to truths she could never touch. It began with her words, sharp as a blade. "Pack your bags," she sneered, her eyes blazing with contempt. "Failures don't belong here." I had just walked in the door after another long day, exhausted but hopeful. Work had been heavy, bills tighter than I admitted, and yes, the weight of financial struggles pressed against us. But I thought we were a team. That's what marriage was supposed to be. Instead, standing in the living room with a stranger's perfume clinging to her clothes, she declared me a failure. And beside her, arm draped possessively around her waist, was her new lover. He smirked at me, smug and victorious, like a man who had just conquered something he never earned. And then she did something I never imagined a woman I once loved could do. She spat on me, right there, in the home we had built together, in the home I thought was ours. In that moment, I felt the ground crumble beneath me. My dignity, my marriage, my sense of belonging, all of it shattered. And yet, I said nothing. She thought she had broken me, that her spit was the final nail in my coffin. She thought she was discarding a man who had nothing left. But she was wrong, because what she never knew, what no one in her family or circle of friends knew, was that I wasn't the failure she painted me as. The job she thought was dead-end, it was just a mask. For years, I had quietly built a company under my own name. Profits were reinvested, accounts carefully hidden, and shares growing in value. On paper, I looked ordinary. In truth, I owned something worth millions. And the house we lived in, the one she spat on me in, she thought it was everything. She thought kicking me out of that front door was the end of me. What she didn't realize was that tucked away on the coast, hidden from her knowledge, was a beach house deeded in my name alone. A place I had bought not to hide from her, but as a long-term investment, a secret sanctuary. But that night, I let her believe her lies. As she strutted out of the house with her lover, her voice echoing with cruel satisfaction, I stayed silent. She wanted me broken. She wanted a fight. She wanted tears. Instead, she got nothing. And silence, I've learned, is the most unsettling response you can give a betrayer. For weeks after, she flaunted her new life. Photos online at dinners, trips, nights out with him. She painted me as a pathetic ex, the man she escaped from. Her friends whispered. Her parents applauded her strength. And she basked in the image of freedom. Meanwhile, I rebuilt, quietly, stronger than before. I moved into the beach house. The first morning I woke up there, the sound of waves crashing outside, I stood barefoot on the balcony and realized something. I hadn't lost everything. I had only lost her. And losing her wasn't a loss at all. It was a release. The company I owned flourished. What started as a gamble had become a machine. Contracts flowing in, profits multiplying. I poured my energy into it, into something that was truly mine. For once, I wasn't carrying dead weight. And as I grew stronger, she began to falter. Whispers trickled back to me through mutual acquaintances. The man she left with wasn't faithful, wasn't steady. He used her, flaunted her, and when the novelty wore off, he cast her aside the same way she had done to me. Suddenly, the woman who spat on me was the one abandoned, standing in the ruins of the life she thought would make her happy. One day, months later, she showed up at the company headquarters. My company, she hadn't known until then. I had kept my name off the front-facing branding, my role tucked behind layers of quiet discretion. But she saw me step out of the building, employees greeting me with respect. She froze on the sidewalk, eyes wide, as realization washed over her. I didn't stop. I didn't look at her with anger or with pity. I simply walked past her, briefcase in hand, and got into my car. That was the moment I knew she understood. She had thrown away not a failure, but the man who had been building an empire under her nose. She had spat on the husband who could have given her everything, but she chose betrayal instead. And me? I chose silence, because silence carries dignity. Silence carries power. The night I lost everything wasn't the end. It was a beginning. The night she left, thinking she had destroyed me, was a night I became truly free. I don't need revenge. I don't need her apology. What I have now, the company, the beach house, the peace of waking up alone without deceit, is worth more than anything she could ever offer. And when I remember her words, "Failures don't belong here," I can finally smile, because she was right, in a way. Failures don't belong in my life. That's why she's no longer in it.